Hello, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to do a quick video. I'm out here looking at my garden in the back, and I've been pulling some weeds, and I thought I'd just jump on and share a little bit about what I'm seeing and what I'm doing. Last spring, we planted lots of kale in containers and in the ground. So I just want to show you that this is kale. Well, first I want to show you this container because I always talk about how you don't have to have acres and acres of space, but you can get yourself a container and you can recycle it, drill some holes in it. If you look right here, let me see if I can get a shot. You see those big holes where there are holes on each side, and there are also holes for drainage under the bottom. You always have to have drainage holes, and so if you use a container, you have to drill holes in it. But anyway, do you see this pretty kale? This kale has been growing all winter because it's a winter or a cold hardy plant, meaning it can take the cold. And so during the winter, I was still coming out here. Little kale, you know, they're little pieces. This is my hand. So it's not really huge, but that's okay. It's still growing. It grew all winter. This right here, this is another container. We purchase trees and we always recycle. So this is another container. It's even smaller than my tote, but it's okay because we grow kale in this as well. What I'm doing is just checking the soil to see the quality of it, to make sure it's no diseases, no bugs. And it is beautiful. Look how brown and rich that is. I'll have to add some compost or manure. But other than that, this soil is in excellent condition. I came through here earlier, like I said, and I got a lot of the weeds out, and I'm still working the soil. This container is even smaller. We purchased a blueberry bush. And so when we planted the bush in the ground, we saved the container. So now we grow kale. Here we go again. This is kale, not weeds. Beautiful, beautiful kale. I'll come out here a little later and harvest it. Here's more kale. Now this is a weed. They may look alike, but they're not the same. So we want to pull the weeds out. And that's what I'm doing. A little more kale. Now look at this. This is a bucket. This isn't even fancy. And you see those holes? That's a hole. So we use buckets and we plant food in our buckets. So again, you don't need a lot of space. If you have a porch or you have a deck, you can get yourself some of these. You can get totes. Most of your big lot kind of whatever carries these totes. Now this is 3 different kale plants. 1, 2, and 3. And this is 1 tote. This all continued to grow all winter. Now, when it was spring, it was really full. But, you know, things, they didn't grow. The kale didn't grow as big as it would have, you know, once the sun hits it and all that good stuff. We have a little kale right here. And these are just regular little pots. I had some kind of plant or whatever, flowers. You can't eat flowers, so I don't do flowers much. I use them a little bit. You can plant flowers between certain vegetables and it works. This is a lemon tree. I came through here and I took some of the dead leaves off because you don't want the dead leaves sucking up all the nutrients and preventing your good healthy leaves from growing. You see how they're turning green again? This is an old aloe plant. I don't know what happened. It's not looking good. No, it dried up and then we had to take it out. So we're going to try that again. But anyway, again, I'm pulling out some of the weeds. So this would be a lemon tree. And we're going to leave it in here as long as we can. And then we'll use this and plant something else. I'm going to go on the other side. And here, I got a little work cut out for me. These are all weeds. So we're going to pull those. And get these little leaves. But this is still kale growing. You see that? Kale. All of that's kale. I'm not going to do all of this while I'm making this video, but all these are, you know, weeds and leaves from the fall and the winter season because I don't do the cold that good, so I didn't come out here unless it was just really quick to cut some kale, and that was it. And so I'm going to move next door. Now this is a different looking plant. As you can see, this is collard. These are collard greens. You see the difference how that kale looks really leafy and curly. These are a little thicker and straighter. And so I'm just pulling out some leaves. So collards and kale are a cold, hardy plant, and they will grow during the winter, and we usually plant them in the late summer or fall. This is more kale. Well, you know, clearly nobody's been pulling weeds out of here, but I will. I just want you to see the difference between the weeds and the kale. Oh, these are weeds for days. Now, this isn't usually a huge problem like this during the winter. I mean, during the spring and summer, because I'm out here and I'm usually getting up the weeds. But during the winter, not so much. So again, if you have limited space, it's okay, because you can still grow at least some salad greens. And here's some of the small containers, medium containers that you can use to grow yourself some food. If you have any questions, you can just type them in the comment. If not, that's fine. Just subscribe, like, please share. If you know anybody who's interested in growing their own food, then let them know about this channel. Thank you for joining me, and enjoy the rest of your day.